On Global News tonight, INEC to conduct nationwide mock accreditation ahead of 2027. Governor Mutfwang tasked Tinubu torchbearers to promote politics of peace and unity. Food vendors in Plateau State tasked to adhere strictly to food safety protocols. And on the foreign scene, Canada to match U.S. tariffs dollar to dollar as trade talks break down. Details coming your way in a moment. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Global News tonight. I am Inga Samuel with the news in full. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amopitan, has disclosed that a nationwide mock accreditation exercise has been scheduled for November 2026 to test the Commission's readiness ahead of the 2027 general election. This is just as he described the Commission's conduct of the Osun State governorship election as a superlative benchmark in electoral administration. The INEC chairman spoke in Abuja while separately receiving the charge d'affaires of the Canadian High Commission to Nigeria, David Sproul, and the country representative of the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, Maurice Sprenker, who were both on courtesy visits to the Commission's headquarters. Professor Amopitan said the Osun election held on Saturday, 15 August 2026, demonstrated what he called the fruits of administrative foresight and technological reliability. He attributed the outcome to optimal field performance of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, seamless transmission of results to the INEC result viewing iRef portal, and proactive crisis management by field officials. Professor Amopitan used both engagements to reassure the international community of INEC's independence, neutrality, and commitment to democratic integrity as the Commission scales its logistical capacity to deploy approximately 1.4 million ad hoc personnel across more than 176,000 polling units nationwide for the 2027 general election. Governor Caleb Mutfwang has challenged the Tinubu torchbearers in Plateau State to take the message of hope to the grassroots and promote peaceful participation, unity, and responsible political engagement. Governor Mutfwang stated this during the inauguration of members of the Tinubu torchbearers Plateau State chapter held at Crispin Event Center, Jos. Our correspondent has the details.
The Tinubu Torchbearers is a political support group established to mobilize grassroots support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and promote the renewed hope agenda. The initiative is coordinated nationally by Nigeria's First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu, while the wives of APC state governors serve as state coordinators, driving mobilization and engagement at the grassroots on the role of the group. Governor Caleb Mutfwang, in a remark at the inauguration ceremony of coordinators in the state, challenged the organization to ensure that its activities go beyond political rallies and ceremonies but also include community engagement, youth empowerment, and support for vulnerable people. Represented by the State Deputy Governor Josephine Pio, Governor Mutfwang assured his administration's commitment to infrastructure development, youth empowerment, peace, and security across the state.
For us in Plateau State, our commitment remains clear: to build a peaceful, united, prosperous, and inclusive Plateau State where every citizen can live with dignity and hope.
Chairman of All Progressive Congress APC in Plateau State, Rufus Bature, in an address urged the Tinubu Torchbearers group to remain focused and united in mobilizing support for all candidates of the APC. Plateau State First Lady Helen Mutfwang called on members of the Tinubu Torchbearers to take the renewed hope agenda to the grassroots through sustained mobilization and community engagement. The First Lady, who is also the state coordinator of the Renewed Hope Torchbearer Initiative, highlighted various empowerment programs for women through the First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu.
Today is not just an event, it is a covenant that the women of Plateau State will take ownership of the Renewed Hope agenda and deliver it door to door, word to word, and local government to local government.
Others who spoke at the event including North Central Zone Women Leader Esther Samuel, Commissioner for Women Affairs, Plateau State Caroline Dafur, and Acting Chairman of the Gender and Equal Opportunities Commission Oliver Daziem, who all encouraged the torchbearers to remain committed to the cause and convey President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope transformation gain to the grassroots. High point of the event was the formal inauguration of the wives of the 17 local government chairmen as torchbearers, who are expected to translate the renewed hope transformation agenda at the grassroots. In Jos, Dashik Simon.
Governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, has joined the family, associates and well-wishers in celebrating and congratulating Victoria Gowon, former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the joyous occasion of her 80th birthday. In a congratulatory message, Governor Mutfwang described Mrs. Gowon as a towering figure of excellence, a compassionate mother, and a woman of remarkable grace who worked tirelessly in support of reconciliation, reconstruction, and the rebuilding of Nigeria during the administration of her beloved husband, the former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon. He recalled with nostalgia the remarkable role played by Mrs. Gowon during a critical period in Nigeria's history when she provided invaluable motherly support, compassion, and encouragement while championing the ideals of peace, reconciliation, national healing, and peaceful coexistence. The governor, in a statement signed by his Director of Press and Public Affairs, Yang Bere, said her enduring advocacy for peace and commitment to building bridges across ethnic, religious, and regional divides have earned her a special place in the hearts of Nigerians. He noted that her life has demonstrated that nation building is not achieved solely through the exercise of political authority, but also through compassion, wisdom, quiet diplomacy, sacrifice, service, and the courage to promote understanding in times of difficulty. Governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, has felicitated with the former Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Nuhu Abak, on the occasion of his birthday. In a congratulatory message, Governor Mutfwang described Abak as a courageous leader, a resilient Plateau son, and a distinguished public servant whose sterling record of selfless service continues to inspire others and make a meaningful impact on society. The statement signed by the Director of Press and Public Affairs to the Governor, Yang Bere, Governor Mutfwang commended the foresight, courage, and commitment to leadership of Abak, particularly his steadfastness in defending the heritage, interests, and collective aspirations of the people of Plateau State at critical moments in the state's history. The governor urged him to remain resolute and steadfast in upholding the enduring values of justice, fairness, and compassion, which he noted are fundamental virtues that define the character and spirit of the Plateau people. He further encouraged Ayuba Abak to continue championing the ideals of communal living, peaceful coexistence, and grassroots development, stressing that such efforts remain essential to strengthening the bonds of brotherhood, unity, and resilience among the people of Plateau State. On behalf of the government and the peace-loving people of Plateau State, Governor Mutfwang prayed for renewed strength, divine wisdom, sound health, and many more years of fulfillment as Abo continues to contribute meaningfully to the progress, peace, and development of Plateau State. Food vendors in Plateau State have been tasked to adhere strictly to food safety protocols for improved health outcomes and reduce disease outbreaks. Outgone Plateau State Commissioner of Environment, Climate Change and Mineral Development, Peter Gwam, through the challenge at a one-day capacity building for food vendors in Jos. Our correspondent has the details.
The workshop, organized by the Plateau State Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Mineral Development for food vendors, had as theme sustaining safety and hygiene in food preparation. Declaring the training open, outgone Commissioner of Environment, Climate Change and Mineral Development, Peter Gwam, through the Permanent Secretary in the State Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Albert Chaiman, reminded the vendors that thousands of people rely on them for food and emphasized for them to make nutritious food accessible to customers.
So when you prepare a meal, you hold a powerful tool in your hands. Food can either build up a body or break it down. Today, we are here to talk about safety and hygiene.
Facilitator at the training, Esther Iki, who made a presentation on the food safety pathway, a practical guide for food vendors, said over 200,000 people in Nigeria die annually due to unsafe food. She explained that food is the first immunization as it builds the human immune system, hence the need for vendors to ensure that their food is safe for public consumption. Permanent Secretary in the State Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Mineral Development, Michael Yebilsu, lauded Governor Caleb Mutfong for sustained support to the ministry.
We pray that the people of Plateau State will open their eyes and see what this man is doing. It's not easy, but this man is everywhere.
Director of Nutrition in the State Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Mineral Development, Nanwood Joshua, said the capacity building is to sensitize food vendors on proper procedures of food preparations.
We are more of the preventive measures. Prevention means you need to prevent it before it gets to the final consumer. The final consumer is myself and you that buy food from the roadside.
The event featured question and answer session. I am Gokop Timothy.
Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Nanlong Daniel, has felicitated with Dr. Bokop Bupwada on his reappointment for a second tenure as the Chief Medical Director of the Jos University Teaching Hospital, JUTH. The Speaker describes the renewed mandate as a fresh call to service and an opportunity to consolidate the gains recorded under his leadership while charting new paths for the growth and transformation of the institution. Nanlong Daniel said the decision to renew Dr. Bupwada's tenure reflects the importance of continuity, experience, and purposeful leadership in sustaining institutional development, particularly within a critical healthcare facility such as JUTH. A statement by the Press Secretary to the Speaker, Philip Eplong, Daniel noted that JUTH remains an important pillar of Nigeria's tertiary healthcare system, providing specialized medical services to citizens while simultaneously contributing to the training of doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals, as well as advancing medical research and innovation. He commended Dr. Bupwada for the leadership he has provided at the hospital and expressed confidence that his renewed tenure would provide the stability required to pursue further reforms, strengthen existing structures, and introduce initiatives capable of positioning youth for greater achievements. He therefore urged Dr. Bupwada to use the opportunity of the second tenure to deepen efforts towards improving the quality and accessibility of specialized healthcare services while strengthening the institution's capacity to meet the evolving medical needs of the people. Nanlong Daniel further encouraged the youth management to sustain an environment that promotes professionalism, teamwork, and continuous learning, noting that a motivated and properly supported workforce remains central to the delivery of effective health care. You're watching Global News Tonight, coming to you live from our Rayfield studio. Stay with us. Welcome back. Management and staff of the Plateau State Ministry of Lands, Survey and Town Planning have visited some orphanages in Jos as part of activities marking 3 years of the ministry under the time is now administration of Governor Caleb Mutfwang. During the visit, they presented relief materials to assist the orphans. Our correspondent has the details.
Places visited by the management and staff of the Plateau State Ministry of Lands of Town Planning as part of activities marking 3 years of efficiency in property registration and sustainability of land-based investment under the present administration were Simji Girl Child Empowerment Initiative Orphanage, New Abuja, and Iyale Home Community Center, Zarmagan, the Bofinjo South Local Government Area. Presenting the items separately, the outgoing commissioner of the ministry, Peter Nyamgai, said the visit is to identify with the orphans and appreciate staff of the orphanages for providing a platform for the less privileged in society.
One of the things that motivated us is the philanthropic posture of the governor of Plateau State, His Excellency Barrister Caleb Mutfwang, who is down to earth and is ever willing to contribute his own quota to the upliftment of the less privileged. And therefore, this ministry kicked into it 3 years ago. Every year we celebrate and thank God for His faithfulness. And one of the ways we thank God is to visit orphanage homes and give them whatever we have to give them.
Guy explained that the resilience and commitment in providing care and education to the orphan has given them hopes that they would grow and become future leaders. Founder of Simji Girl Child Empowerment Initiative Orphanage, Simi Goshwi, and some of the orphans expressed gratitude to the State Ministry of Lands, Survey and Town Planning for remembering them.
What you have brought here today is going to help us. What would have gone to market to go and buy? We're almost coming to the end of August, right? What we'll be buying for September from what you have brought, we are not going to buy.
Items presented include bags of rice, maize, cartons of noodles, biscuits, soap, clothing, toiletries, and cash, among others. I am Goko Timothy.
Members of the Nigeria Association of Social Workers in Plateau State have unanimously celebrated the grand decision by the State Executive Council to establish a Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs in the state. In the statement signed by the State Chairman, Kobdi Bako, and Secretary Martin Dalyub, the Council commended Governor Mutfwang's proactive resolution to ensure Plateau institutes a welfare scheme for its numerous vulnerable population. The social workers in the state recounted the fact that Plateau was highly instrumental in the foundational activities of forming the Social Workers Association in 1975 with the pioneer national chairman, the late Alexander Majay. They equally congratulated the pioneer commissioner of the ministry, Kachalong Gang, promising to work closely with her in setting up a solid structure for a robust welfare package for the vulnerable populations in the state. The association commended the huge progress made so far, urging that efforts should be made immediately to develop a comprehensive data of vulnerable persons in the state and mobilize all caregiving organizations to build a comprehensive welfare plan for such groups. Now so urged the new commissioner to use her wealth of experience to collaborate with the Ministry of Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation Affairs in ensuring displaced persons who have been in IDP camps for years are resettled back in their ancestral homes in line with the governor's time is now agenda. As security challenges continue to threaten peaceful coexistence and social development, there is need for collaboration and responsible citizenship to prevent conflict. The Uja Anaguta Johnson Jauro Magaji made this known at a Peace, Security and Development workshop organized by Arewa Christians and Indigenous Pastors Association in collaboration with Christian Association of Nigeria, Plateau State Branch. Our correspondent covered the event held at Ekwa Good News Church, Jos.
Peace and security remain the foundation for development, yet communities continue to face challenges from insecurity and violent conflicts to intolerance and social division. Against this backdrop, the Arewa Christians and Indigenous Pastors Association, an advocacy organization whose mandate is to promote Christian unity, social justice, and the security of Christians in northern Nigeria, converged stakeholders for a peace, security, and development workshop. The workshop is to examine the challenges confronting peaceful coexistence and to identify practical ways of building a safer and united communities in Jos North local government area. In a keynote address, the Uja Anaguta, Johnson Joro Magaji, through the district head of Nabor, Bala Haruna, emphasized the need for young people to be empowered to become agents of peace rather than instruments of conflicts. Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria Jos North Local Government Area, Reverend Yaro Ajang, stressed the need for government and relevant stakeholders to strengthen justice, good governance, and inclusive development.
Help us, even as we begin to draw blueprints for security here in Jos North Local Government. You see, there was a balance between work and vigilance for the man Nehemiah.
National Chairman Arewa Christians and Indigenous Pastors Luke Shehu said building a secured society is a shared responsibility.
The program seeks to achieve a consolidated conscious recommendations to the government with regards to how security issues, challenges can be resolved in just proactively. That is why this workshop is professionally tailor-made based on my background and with the support of the security operatives that we've been in partnership with.
The workshop has as theme, knowing challenges to security and peace, your responsibility at promoting peace, security and development. In Jos, Bridget Rootshak.
The Ladies Empowerment Goals and Support Initiative Legacy, in partnership with World Connect, has constructed and handed over a motorized borehole to Chelnyab community in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. Our correspondent reports.
For years, the Chelnyab community has faced persistent water scarcity despite previous interventions, leaving residents struggling to access water for their daily needs. Building on past efforts to address this challenge, Ladies Empowerment Goals and Support Initiative Legacy and World Connect recently structured a motorized borehole for the community. Executive Director of Legacy, Kaltumi Abdulaziz, represented by the Program Officer of the association, Miriam Mahmood, stated that the project is part of the group's commitment to driving community development.
Part of the thematic areas of Legacy is humanitarian development, peace-building nexus. We render the humanitarian services and peace-building, bringing them together as one. This water is not specifically for one ethnic group in the communities or for the community people.
Project facilitator Ruth Dung and community leader David Shah noted that the initiative will significantly ease the water burden faced by citizens in the area.
This community have been facing a lot of challenge when it comes to piebald water. I could remember growing up, because I was born and brought up here. Growing up, I used to go to down University of Jos in search of piebald water. Seriously, we really thank God for this project, because with this project now, the stress will be less on the youngs.
This borehole will help us that we'll stop buying water. Normally during the dry season we buy water almost every day. Now that with the contact with this World Connect, we're able to make contact with them, and they're also coming to help us, and we have achieved our goal. We can be proud that we are getting water on a 24-hour basis.
Dignitaries present, including Sector 1 Commander Operation Enduring Peace, Jos North, Jubril Abdullahi, and representatives of the Jos North Chairman and Councillor commended the efforts of Legacy. The event featured the official handover of the borehole to the community and the signing of a memorandum of understanding for maintenance. In Jos, Nisi Alan.
On a sad note, Plateau State Governor, His Excellency Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, says the death of former Plateau House of Assembly Speaker Right Honorable Peter Aziz is sad and shocking, saying the late politician was a respected leader whose contributions to his community and the state would be greatly missed. Governor Mutfwang stated this during a condolence visit to the family of the late Right Honorable Peter Aziz at the family residence in Dong, just North Local Government area. Reflecting on his relationship with the deceased, Governor Mutfwang said he had worked closely with Aziz since joining political forces and had come to appreciate his leadership qualities and commitment to the people of Afizere Nation and communities within Just North. He described the late politician as a leader who had earned the respect of his people, noting that his passing had created a vacuum not only in his immediate family but also within the Izere community. Governor Mutfwang urged the bereaved wife, children and members of the family to surrender their griefs to God, assuring them that divine comfort remained the greatest source of strength in moments when human explanations could not adequately answer the questions surrounding death. Governor Mutfwang prayed that God would take the place of the late Aziz as the husband of the widow and father to the fatherless, while also raising leaders capable of providing continuity within the Afizere community. Responding on behalf of the family and the Afizere Nation, the National President of the Afizere Community Development Association, Engineer Yakubu Ashams, expressed appreciation to Governor Mutfwang for personally visiting the family and identifying with them in their moment of grief. Ashams described the deceased as an Iroko tree whose departure had left a significant vacuum, noting that several condolence visits had revealed the depth of his contributions and the many roles he played within his family and community. In the same vein, Plateau State Deputy Governor Josephine Pio has described the late Daniel David Dalyup as an iconic broadcaster whose remarkable service to the state has left an enduring legacy in the hearts of many. Pio stated this when she led a delegation of government officials on a condolence visit to the family of the deceased at his residence in Mungel, just South Local Government area. Our correspondent has the details.
According to the Plateau State Deputy Governor Josephine Pio, the late Daniel David Dalio, popularly known as Basket Mouth, was a dedicated broadcaster and former staff of the Plateau Radio Television Corporation, whose outstanding contributions and exemplary performance have continued to serve as a point of reference in the broadcasting profession. She said the deceased had contributed his quota to the development of broadcasting and left legacies worthy of emulation, adding that his passing should be accepted by the family as the will of God.
He was a very, very refined broadcaster, known all over Plateau. Our father and our brother is a man of honor. He has left a legacy on the Plateau. He has left a name on the Plateau. Nobody who hears this name will not know the name.
Responding on behalf of the family, Martins Dalyop expressed appreciation to the Deputy Governor and her delegation for the condolence visit, describing their late father as a good man who united the family and brought people together during his lifetime.
My father, my brother, was an Iroko tree. A lot of people found shelter around him. I would want to even say that the state has taken a bite of his goodness, and I want to thank you for coming, because I want to see this as a gesture in acknowledging the fact that he was very important.
Meanwhile, Plateau State Deputy Governor Josephine Pio also led a delegation of government officials on a condolence visit to the family of late Mama Julsi Godfrey Dangyang at their residence in Rantia, Jos. Pio expressed sympathy with the family over the loss and prayed to God to grant them the strength and comfort to bear the irreparable loss.
Her virtues are worthy of emulation, and she has gone to be with the Lord. Who are we to question God? If wishes were horses, we would have prayed for her to continue to live longer with us.
but we cannot question God.
Responding on behalf of the family, James Dangyang thanked the Deputy Governor and her entourage for the condolence visit and for identifying with the family at their moment of grief. In Jos, Dashik Simon.
And that's it on Global News tonight. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Good night.
This is super story.